after we get let go later on in our careers, either by we choose to leave or they asked us to leave. The big question comes up is, how do I earn money now? And how do I do it without starting over? I'm not going to say anything about teaching an old dog new tricks, but come on. For a lot of us, starting over, it's not an option. I got to tell you, I don't have the freaking energy for it. So it's important for us to reframe how we look at income and really the pressure it brings at this stage in our lives. For so much of our career, it kind of followed a predictable pattern, didn't it? We got a job. Along the way, we get some raises. We might get some bonuses. We get promoted. And we get those big pops and those big changes in our income when we actually change jobs, right? You go from one company to another, you get that 15, 20%, sometimes even more pops in your income. That is fantastic. We showed up, we took on responsibility, we solved problems, we functioned within our job description. And so much of our title, it explained our value, and our paycheck confirmed it, didn't it? But when all of that ends, what the hell do we do now, right? Do we find another job? Do we reinvent ourselves? And all of this reinvention creates anxiety. And in so many ways, it really reduces our experience. It erases it almost. And I think, is accelerating that. And don't even get me going on AI. I'll spend some other videos talking about AI. My job was eliminated in part because of AI. And I know it's creating stress because it makes a lot of people like us, older people with all this experience, it makes a lot of us irrelevant now, doesn't it? But after corporate, the challenge for some, I know it is, it's finding income, right? Maybe not replacing all of it, but we need to find some. I got to get a sense of normalcy back. So I think it's more about rethinking how income actually works at this stage in our lives. What does it mean for us now? And this channel, Scott's Life After Corporate, I'm Scott, by the way. Hi. This channel is about designing income, purpose, and freedom after our corporate careers. When all of that's over, what does it look like now without having to start over or rush into decisions that just don't fit anymore? And if this sounds like what you're interested in, consider liking, subscribing, or commenting because it really does help the channel. So, okay, enough of the public service announcement. My core point, though, is that income after our corporate jobs, I think it works best when it's decoupled from our identity, when you take away the urgency and that full-time obligation. It's not about replacing our old job. It's not about finding a new career now. It's not about having to prove anything. We need to think about income now in a new way that fits who we are now. So let's walk through 3 shifts that I think really make this possible. Shift number 1, we need to stop thinking jobs and start thinking value. After corporate, our advantage isn't our availability, it's our experience. We've got years of judgment, years of pattern recognition, knowing what actually works, and maybe even better, more importantly, what doesn't work. We have years of working with people. See, at this stage, anyone can drive Uber or deliver Grubhub or deliver Amazon packages. But nowadays, I think for us, we have true experience. We have something we can really offer. for me personally, I look at it as two parts of my business. The B2B side and the training services I provided at LinkedIn that I now provide to others, and the B2C side that I do here on YouTube, getting a chance to talk to you. Not that this YouTube thing makes any money by any stretch of the imagination yet, but that's really how I see it. It's leveraging our experience, B2B as well as B2C, without having to necessarily deliver packages and have strangers in my car. So instead of asking, hey, what job can I get? Maybe a better question is, what problems do I know how to solve? And who do I solve them for? Maybe this means taking a look at advisory roles. Maybe it's consulting, freelancing. Maybe it's fractional or interim type positions. See, these paths, they don't require us to start over. They require repositioning and marketing what we already know, what we're already good at, all the stuff that we've already done for decades. And I know that there's this whole debate about you know selling hours, selling time for money, stuff like that. But we don't want to be in a position where we're having to sell hours. We're selling judgment and wisdom. So some questions you might want to ask yourself, and these were things I'm asking myself. When you look back on your career, what problems did people consistently rely on you to solve? What were they coming to you for? What was that value? What was that special sauce you brought to the table? And which parts of that required judgment and experience, not just effort? Okay. We don't want to compete with just effort. We don't have the energy for that, for those high effort jobs anymore. And let me ask you this. If you weren't defined by a title, how would you describe the value you bring to the table? All right. Second point. This all or nothing thinking, something's wrong here. I don't think it's binary. It's not either or. It's, a lot of times we lose our jobs and we assume, we have to go out and immediately find another full-time job. And we have to make roughly the same amount, don't we? Right? We've got bills, our spouses expect, certain things and all that. I don't know about you guys. I don't see that happening. I've spent my entire career in telco, in tech, and it paid really well. And at 62, nobody's going to offer me that kind of money again. And all of that creates a lot of pressure on us, doesn't it? But after corporate, I think the income serves a different purpose. Maybe it's no longer about maximizing our earnings. Maybe it's about reducing anxiety, preserving our savings, right? That's a big one. Maybe it's about maintaining options, buying flexibility, if you will. And for a lot of us, when you hit that 62, it's about delaying Social Security. So many of our income opportunities could be partial, temporary, or even seasonal in nature. And I have to tell you, for me, a big part of it is flexibility. I have a good friend who's very ill, and I got to spend time with him back in November. Here we are in mid-January, and I was with him all of last week, down in Austin. He's out of town. And I got to spend time with him. And I want to go back and spend time with him again next month. No way in hell could I do something so important as to spend time with my best friend if I had another job and I got a measly 2 weeks PTO because I took a new job and I have to ask for permission to go spend time with my best friend who's dying. I'm over that. And I'll just leave it at that. But at this stage in our lives, I know we'll end up earning less, but hopefully we have more control. And I think this feels better than earning more money under all the pressure with less control, less freedom, and just all the bullshit again. See, at this stage, income becomes a tool, not a trap, and we need to control it. So, a couple of questions you might want to ask yourself at this stage is, what role does income actually need to play in your life right now? Is it a must have or is it a nice to have? And I totally get it if it's a must have. If you're still in your mid 50s, this channel I consider for people mid 50s to maybe upper 60s, right? It's that age range. And when you're still in your mid 50s, I get it. You might have kids in college. You may still have a mortgage. So you still need income. But one of the questions you need to ask yourself is how much income is enough to reduce the pressure? Because it's not about maximizing our status anymore. Screw that, right? It's not about keeping up with the Joneses. But if income was able to support your freedom instead of defining who you are, who we are, what would change? What would we do? What does that look like? And I have to tell you, these aren't financial questions. I think these are more clarity questions. All right, third point. The real risk, I don't think, is earning less. I think the real risk is rushing our decisions. The real risk after we lose our corporate job isn't necessarily under earning. It's about rushing into the wrong structure. And I think a lot of this is based upon fear, right? Especially after a layoff. And I totally get it. I look back on being laid off in 2009 during the Great Recession, totally different phase in my life, young kids, big mortgage, all of that stuff. Now it's just different. And I think that fear sometimes pushes smart people to just grab what's familiar. But familiarity doesn't always mean appropriate. And one of the gentlemen I used to work with, so my group got obliterated at LinkedIn. 8 out of 14 of us were let go, including my manager, my manager's manager. I mean, so it just basic reorg, blow this apart. But one of the gentlemen ended up taking a job like right away, was in touch with some people we used to work with, accepted a position right away. He didn't even make it to the end of his probationary period. After the 90 days, they said, hey, this isn't working out. And he knew it wasn't working out. It wasn't the right fit. And based upon the fear, he rushed into accepting something that he knew wasn't right. So I think, at this stage, maybe better income decisions tend to come from, small experiments, short-term commitments, and definitely reversible choices, not rushing into something. So instead of asking, how do I replace this income fast? You might want to ask yourself, what's the lowest pressure way to bring income back in while I figure out just what fits? And that question protects our finances, but it also protects our peace of mind. So, you need to ask yourself, are you feeling pressure to decide quickly, or are you able to decide intentionally? And, you need to ask yourself, what might a small, low risk income experiment, what might that look like? What are those things we could do? How could we quickly crank something up to get a little bit coming in to take the pressure off? And if you truly gave yourself 6 months to explore things, and instead of, committing to another full-time job, if you gave yourself 6 months, what might that look like? Because in the end, I don't think we don't need urgency. We need more space. All right. I've rambled on long enough. When we start thinking about what we need after corporate, we need to reposition what we already have. We need to reframe our value. And I think income at this stage, at this age, works best when it's intentional, when it's flexible, when it's aligned with our energy, and it's designed to support our freedom, not consume it. We're not trying to build the next 30 years. We're trying to design the next chapter, the right chapter, and that deserves thought, not panic. If this has resonated with you at all, please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you. If you have thoughts, if you want to say, Scott, you're full of it, that's cool. Leave me a comment below. If you have insights, I'd love to hear them. Share your thoughts in the comments. In the meantime, I publish Mondays and Thursdays. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.